This item. This beautiful item has been recommended to have a video made on it more than anything or any other champion in League of Legends. It's clear that even 2.5 years after its removal, the cut still runs deep and the wound still hasn't healed today. Its removal left an entire community in shock, and today people are still trying to find a way to pick up the pieces of their lives to help move forward. I mean, an entire movement of TYDFG was created off the back of Riot's decision to remove the item Deathfire Grasp. And honestly, a part of me totally understands the reason for that removal, but if you played League of Legends at the time, or if you were a mid main, a part of you died that day. And I'm sorry to drop some adult levels of reality on you on what is supposed to be a comedy video, but that part of you it's never coming back, and I guess I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So I guess we should go back to the beginning. Now, back when this goofy little fuck was first conceived, it actually operated as an item not all dissimilar to Liandry's Torment in its current state. Spells would deal percentage of your max health, and it was a passive. It was a very strong item, but it never really gained the cult following that it ended up having many years later, when in 2013, the item got a really big change that basically reshaped the way League of Legends was played for an entire year. This item's huge potential to turn champions that wouldn't normally be able to burst into bursting monsters, or already bursty champions into fucking planet obliterating galactic overlords. It was disgusting. Alongside the fact that it did 15% of the target's max HP instantly when you cast it on someone, and the fact that it also granted 20% increased magic damage on that target for 4 seconds from any magic source, it meant that if you ended up playing mid against someone like Veigar, I'm sorry, but unless you want to build full MR the entire game, you're basically fucked. Now, this was the golden age, the glorious golden age of one-shotting people in mid lane, where basically anyone who managed to get an early kill or slightly ahead of their lane opponent would pick up one of these to make sure that motherfucker doesn't exist in lane for any more than a few seconds before you burst him so hard that all that's left in the fucking grass is a scorch mark. Now, I mean, I don't need to tell you how broken this shit really was, because like Riot removed it because it was basically forcing champions who don't normally perform insane amounts of burst damage to play totally different to how they were supposed to. Now, I should have taken this as an omen, to be honest, that Riot would be slashing the whip down on us to make us become the good little meta slaves that we are, rather than letting us spread out our wings like a beautiful butterfly and play Disco Nunu top lane for the rest of our days. But here we are. Fucking Riot. So champions like Ahri, who tend to have quite a versatile set of spells, but for the most part, her kit is actually pretty defensive in nature, was playing absolutely balls to the fucking walls in playstyle now, with the fact that her old charm used to be a damage amplifier for her other spells. If someone was stupid enough, if someone even had the fucking gall, the audacity, to even accidentally get clipped by a charm a single time in lane, her damage amplification on her charm, followed by a Deathfire Grasp, which is another 20% amplified damage on top of that, and then the fucking Q. It just ended up hitting you like... Now, I sincerely wish that I was exaggerating with that last little cutaway, but considering it already gave you 120 AP and some cooldown reduction, I'm just saying, unless you were a Galio stacking 17 Banshee's Veils and a couple of Force of Natures at the time, you were about to get fucked out of the atmosphere and onto Mars. That's not even taking into account that, yeah, Ahri can burst, but she's not even the first person you think of when you consider old AP bursters. Imagine the scene. You're minding your business mid, you've been punishing an enemy Veigar pretty decently. You're a little bit ahead and you've just got yourself some nice AP items. Now Veigar comes strolling back into lane, with his dumpy little legs, and you think, everything's fine. Suddenly, you've been flashed on, but wait, you're pretty much 100% health. What the fuck? What is this guy doing? Deathfire Grasp suddenly bursts forth from Veigar's fucking anus, slapping your HP down, and then the Q, and then finally, the Primordial Burst takes the remaining 70% of the HP you had left. And that's it. That's a grey screen. You're fucking dead. You're left there, wondering what in God's name just fucking happened, and all you can hear is the ringing in your ears and the faint sound of Veigar's ass cheeks clapping together as he taunts and laughs over your dead fucking corpse. Okay, time to rethink. You go back to base, you grab some items, you're heading back into lane, things are fine, and then suddenly he does the exact fucking same thing again. If getting hit by an Ahri with Deathfire Grasp was compared to being hit by a train, then the only thing that I can possibly think that would be relevant to Veigar is this. And I like to think that Veigar is pretty much the sole reason for this item being removed. It seems only right that the evil little shit would have to ruin this item for fucking everyone. Just because back in the day, especially back in the day, anyone that was stupid enough to build AP against him, this is back when his ultimate, his damage actually scaled on the enemy's AP. Veigar just made that person pretty much not exist in the game. On top of the Deathfire Grasp, you're just amplifying the amount of AP and the amount of damage that you do to someone. You'd kill a Lux mid a few times, and suddenly you see fucking Lux running down bot lane to be the second support for an Ezreal, whilst a very, very fucking confused Lee Sin is just sitting in mid lane, Stevie wandering Qs around, just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with his gold promo games. If there was ever a champion that can make you question what the point of even trying anymore is, then a Deathfire Grasp on Veigar was pretty much it. And I know that I focused a lot on Veigar rather than Deathfire Grasp and just other champions in general, but this item was the enabler. This item enabled so many characters to pull your pants down, bend you over, and take it up Brown Town to the point that Riot finally had to put their fucking boot down and save us from ourselves. Any character that had a lot of really quick burst but not a lot of sustained DPS, like your AP Tristanas, your full AP Malphites, anything like that, they were just put into godlike status. They were fucking unstoppable. They were really, really dangerous. And suddenly building a little bit of magic resistance really wasn't enough anymore, because that extra 20% damage basically sorted out the difference between the Banshee's Veil that you're carrying and you just having a fucking AP item anyway. It didn't really make a difference. There had to have been a board meeting when people were just looking at the stats for Deathfire Grasp, and someone in Riot HQ, the game balance department, just sat around a table, and one of them just stood up and they said,
"Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?"
Still though, honest to God, the item was actually a little bit fun, as much as I hate to say it. I don't really think that completely one-shotting people with the one item is really all that rewarding or satisfying. But whilst I used Deathfire Grasp, there was always a little part of me inside, an evil, sadistic part of me inside that would love doing it. The pain it caused in games was satisfying in its own right, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that there's times when I look at the state of League of Legends as it is today, and I don't miss this goofy little fucker right here. I mean, not this thing. This thing. But this one though, very nice. I really like it. I like this one. And if you've made it this far, there's a very good chance that you too hold a very deep love for the item that was taken from us and was replaced by Riot with a fucking wooden Echo. I mean, shit. I mean, it's a fine item. It's fine. But Christ, it's not the same. This is what they replaced it with. This is what they put instead because they thought we wouldn't notice. It's like killing your mother and then just replacing her with another random woman who kind of looks a little bit similar and has the same hair color. Yeah, sure, maybe I can pretend, but like, do you not think we noticed that it's just my dad wearing a wig and a fucking skin suit? Jesus Christ, Riot. There is quite literally no reason to pay disrespect to Deathfire Grasp, to put a dislike on this video. In fact, any like that I get, I assume is one person that's been one-banged by a Veigar with Deathfire Grasp, or just they've been so close to living, and then suddenly Deathfire Grasp finishes them off at the very last second. So this video should have millions and millions of likes. I assume that it's going to get millions of likes, and 0 dislikes as well. Join me, brothers and sisters, as we set this item out onto the lake on the mightiest of Viking burials. The flames consumed him long ago, but to this day we still have to pay our respects. R.I.P. Deathfire Grasp. Well guys, thank you very much for watching yet another R.I.P. I have been hyping this one and just kind of waiting for a long ass time to do this one because it seems to be the most popular one that people have requested. If you have any further suggestions for RIP videos, I mean there's plenty of stuff that I really want to do. Let me know in the comments section down below. I'll be reading them. I'll be probably responding to comments here as well. Want to give a shout out as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting my girlfriend on some of her last streams. I've been there as well. It's pretty much been my stream as well, but it does mean a lot. All the links to all that kind of stuff are in the description as well. And if you're still interested in the giveaway, I think it ends in like a day or two. So this is for the Riot Ward skins. Go ahead and grab them, whatever you want to do. I've got a couple of videos coming up. Maybe a new series that I just want to explore and piss around with. As well as that, some more WTFs. Just basically just rip it on characters. People that main the characters. Good. It's good fun. I like it. It's good fun. And also, I want to talk about there's some issues with the trolling system and the banning system when it comes to trolling, and there's a very big discrepancy, and I just want to talk about that. As well as that, I'm gonna spoil it for you, but I've heard word about a certain rework for a certain character that I've been cock teasing for a while. It's a really fucking big character, very popular character, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. So yeah, and nobody else has heard this. Like, I'm one of the fewest people. Like, there's maybe like 14, 15 people that aren't in Riot that have heard about this because I happen to be at Riot and they were talking about him. So yeah. Oh, I said him. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, guys, take it away. Take it away. Bye. Sorry, I gotta go.